Hey y'all, welcome back to Healing Gardens. My name is Kim. I have missed y'all so much. I thoroughly enjoyed making videos, but I've been having so many technical difficulties. I can't even upload videos to CapCut because of my phone storage. So I'm going to take a quick video and then we are going to upload it straight from my photos. No editing, so let's hope we don't make a lot of mistakes in this video. I'm gonna do a garden tour and show you a plant haul that I got at my spring fling this year. I go up to a spring fling, it's kind of a private little thing, and we've known each other, well, I've been a part of the group for 14 years. I think this was my 13th spring fling to go to. So a long time, great friends, great gardeners, and we just talk big garden stories and share all of our goodies with each other. And I came home with a load of good stuff. So let's get right into what I have going on in the garden. First, we'll start over here because that's where I am. And this is my potting up station. It's kind of just tucked in the corner of my garden. And it's where I do my potting up. And then if they survive, then they get moved over into the garden. I'm also growing for sale. And so I've been selling quite a few plants doing that. Is our squash of some kind. I believe it's a zucchini. And then over here in the weeds, I planted some more squash. And I'm sorry about the twisty turny, but I don't know how to turn my camera around without turning it off. Well, if I turn it off, then I would have to glue all these sections together in CapCut, and we can't do that. So we're just going to do what we can. This is our mustard, red mustard, and a rogue tomato. And over here, got something new coming up. This is going to be one of my barrier plants. And it is okra. Here is one of our compost bins. And here is another one. I actually got turmeric planted in there. Here are our onions. These are the smallest of our onions. So those are doing great. And beans, they're doing well also. And over here, I just planted lavender that I got at the spring fling, and it's kind of sad, but it hopefully will perk back up. And I got mint, and I've got some rogue kind of squash or something in here as well. And see, that lavender is kind of sad. And this mint is wonderful. I was gone for a couple days, and it has been raining so much lately that it's hard to get out here to weed eat. And I usually just run out here and plant and weed a little bit, but I haven't run the weed eater much. So, all right. This, I've been harvesting little bits. You can see little bits of broccoli in there. I harvest that every day, usually. And this, I'm not sure if I'm waiting on a little broccoli or a big one. I don't know if you can see in here. Okay, this is our best onion bed, and you can see They're starting to bulb up. So I cut back on the nitrogen because we don't want any more going into the leaves. We want it all going into the bulb. The leaves are over 2 foot tall, so they should be able to feed those onions really well and get some great size onions this year. All right, there's our little pepper. My garden mentor came to the Spring Fling and years ago, before she passed, and she brought a pepper, and somebody's been growing it out every year. This is our comfrey. We're fixing to cut that all the way back again and get that in the dehydrator because it is getting huge. And then we've got our asparagus in there. And our mallow is fixing to get cut all the way back again. We've got our onions in here. And I will come and move the soil and mulch away from the onion so that it can start bulbing up better. Look at this. Greens and basil. Lots of basil. Greens are going to get cut back. And then we've got our sugar snap peas, but I don't know if they're going to have time to do anything. And this is a beautiful bed. Onion, cilantro, Swiss chard, and I think that's all of the, yeah, that's it in there. Nice, huh? And that's just grass. This is oregano. No, not oregano. I'm sorry, thyme. And this is lemon thyme with these super tiny, delicate flowers. Aren't those pretty? We've got our sage and our cilantro and a few leeks. This I just planted from the Spring Fling. A nice parsley. And then that's our kohlrabi. And then some sort of squash. And I'm hoping the kohlrabi gets finished and the squash can take over that bed. So here we have our blueberries. This is a tree I bought this year. I already got berries. And then, I don't remember what that is. Oh, a Greek basil and a cinnamon basil. This one's already covered because I did see a grasshopper, and the grasshoppers are not going to get our blueberries this year. So it's got a lot of blueberries around. And these are our leeks. No, these are our garlic. And it's just about time to harvest. They're starting to dwindle. And then I've got, what is that? Oh, red runner beans. They're the foot-long or yard-long beans. And I've got this in there, and I hope that's enough. I doubt it is, because it's just a little short tomato cage, but we'll see. We've got blossoms on these, so we should be seeing sugar peas pretty soon. I've got a kale plant in there. Don't know what this is, but the plant app says it's a type of sunflower, so we will see. And then this is a rosemary. I've already trimmed it pretty hard, letting it grow back. On this side of our sugar snap peas, we have a grapevine. And as soon as the sugar snap peas are done, I will not plant anything else in this bed. Only the grapevine will be able to take over this trellis. So that'll be nice. And then we've got our sage doing very well. It's time for a trim. Our cilantro, I'll trim that again. Rosemary and dill, I'm just patiently waiting because I need dill for my herb blends, and it's being very slow. This is our Vitex, and it is stunning. Very, very nice. I don't see the Jewels of Opar. that was in this pot from last year, but that happens. Oh, and between these pots over here, I also have yarrow tucked in. And I'm going to tuck in something else right in there. These might be the ones I tuck in. Okay, and there's our, here's our sunchoke in this box. I put a bunch of soil in here and I ended up just planting the sunchoke in there, and it's happy, so that makes me happy. And our mint from last year popping up. We've got our onions. There's a roselle popped in. There is the wild cucumbers, if you've seen the videos from last year. And more wild cucumbers, roselle, and onions. The iris and the desert willow are doing fantastic. And then we'll finish up over here. Let's see. Tomatoes, 1 tomato, basil, and dill. And then I have a cabbage. And this is mallow. And I don't know why I don't know what it's doing. But it acts different than the other mallow. I'm still going to whack it down. And these are the sweetest little flowers. Aren't those pretty? That's on my radish that I let go to seed. We got garlic chives and we've got basil. And then here's another pot of onions. And they are, looks like our red onions, which I'm really looking forward to those. Here is our peach tree. She is busting out this year. And let's see if we can find our peach. We got one. And it's hidden, so I have a hard time finding it. There. Do you see it? We'll see. A peach. Imagine that. On a peach tree that I've had for, I don't know how long I've had it. It's a long time. Strawberries are doing great. I'm getting a handful almost every day now. Collards, I'm keeping those well trimmed. As soon as they get a little bit bigger than this, I'm cutting them and eating them. This is supposed to be a bush. That's why I put it in here. A bush cucumber. Well, that doesn't look like a bush cucumber to me. But we'll see how far it goes. I may have to scrap that one because I can't have it hanging. I don't know what it's going to do. We'll see. And some dill. So I'm going to harvest this dill. And look at this T90 little microdwarf tomato plant called Orange Hat. And it has a tomato. And no, I don't pinch my tomatoes. I don't pinch my blooms. I let them do what they want to do. Because that's the way they're designed. I didn't make them that way. That's just how they are. And look at that spinach. I took a bunch of spinach and collards and Swiss chard to my brother and sister-in-laws and cooked a big mess. And my sister tried it and liked it, and my sister-in-law, but my brother wouldn't even try it. He is chicken. Big, strong man won't try something new. And look at those strawberries. Aren't those gorgeous? These plants are just beautiful, which tells me I'm going to have strawberries for a while. I got a marigold in here that is just as strong and doing beautifully in the green stalk. And then, of course, cilantro. What is this one? Thyme. English thyme. Isn't that pretty? So that's that. I probably missed something, but you get the gist of it. The green stalk is amazing. And I used Pro Mix. In case you want to know, I used Pro Mix and I used Espoma fertilizer. That's all I use. And occasionally, right before it rains, I do come out and sprinkle like half a teaspoon of fertilizer in there because it you know, it's a container, so it can't access the nutrients from the ground. So this tomato I showed you earlier, but this is the one that when we did our winter sow versus indoor seeding, this is the one that was on a piece of cardboard. It was just a bunch of tomatoes stuck on there that I couldn't get off. And I planted the whole piece of cardboard, and we got this one beautiful tomato plant. And so I'm not sure what it's going to be. We'll find out. We always close the gate back because that's where I hide my frogs from my dog. And so we got to keep that gate closed. So here's a fig that I got from a plant swap, and it's doing great. And then I'm getting sweet potato slips off of there. Some zinnias and marigolds in there that need to be planted out. Some more onions. Aren't those great? And then I've got a blackberry that I got at the Spring Fling. I've got some different basils, cinnamon, and aren't those pretty? These are my basil, just a Genovese basil. And that is a gorgeous elderberry that I got from a plant swap this year. So here's some plants. Not really sure what they are, but it's something I asked for, so we'll figure it out. And then that, whatever it is. And there's some more elderberries. My stinging nettle, another elderberry. And this one I actually planted in the ground. And I thought, well, when I move my tiny house, I'll just have to dig it up. So this flat is mostly herbs, and then I got some sweet potato slips from one of the ladies. I got 2 Thai roselle, which are different than the roselle I've grown, so I'm looking forward to having that variety. I got a lavender, I've got a chamomile, St. John's wort, marjoram, amaranth, hyssop, and thyme. And the lady that grew these knows what she's doing because they are beautiful. So over here, this mess looks messy right now. I'm not done yet. I started a new bed, and I really wanted to videotape it, but it's okay. I had cardboard here and a piece of carpet actually, and I just let it smother the grass out for nearly a year. And I took that carpet up, and now we're planting in there. So here's 8 or 10 tomatoes, I guess 10 tomatoes that a friend of mine gave me at the Spring Fling. And in this garden, we have tomato, basil, marigold, and basil. And over here we have gomphrena, tomato. And I just put this here this morning, and I'm going to fashion this down, and then I'm going to plant inside with about 6 basil because I really like basil and tomato together. This pot we had our pecan trees in and carrots, and I've been picking the carrots and eating those. And then I planted, what did I plant in here? Cucumbers, yeah. All right, and then there's another pot of mustard greens. This is called asparagus bean. And then that mass is a cabbage gone to seed. And yes, I've been eating the small seed pods. They're pretty tasty. But I'm just letting it do its thing because I want cabbage seed forever. So that will do it. Here's a little bed that I planted up, and of course it's gotten taken over by this wandering plant, which I've been potting up, and I'll take those to the sale because people really like those. And these are everywhere. Those are my cucumbers. They're wild, but they're good. So we're gonna just let them go. That, I don't know what that is because that was not in the wildflower seed mix. And then I planted a marigold there, and it is doing really well. I'm gonna spin around here. slowly. So this is the garden looking this direction. And you can see I've got beans coming up. And some of the beans I don't think I got covered good. You can see in there. Anyway, if they don't come up, I'll replant. And then this pot is beets that have successfully come up. And this pot is a lot of herbs that I was frustrated trying to get herbs up. And I couldn't get them to come up. So I planted whole packages. And I got chives. I don't know if you see the little wispy chives. I've got oregano. And I got clover, but I'm not sure why I have clover because I didn't really plant that. And then I've got, so we got our iris bed. I got a bunch of new irises from the spring fling. And you can see I didn't even get them planted good. Or no, that was one of mine. I don't know what's going on in here. But they're happy. Some of them have been blooming, just the yellow ones so far. And I've got about probably 12 different varieties. I put a yarrow in there. The alyssum was off of a plant from last year. I just crunched it up and it's coming up and it smells amazing. All of this wandering plant is coming out. And there's our zinnias. And I think I even put a turmeric in here. Oh, look at our beauty berry. And this is our mullein. I didn't realize this got that big, so I may have to transplant that out. And then that's a little piece of mint. But they'll be okay for a little while together. Sorry about the mower. Unless I come out at like 6:30 in the morning, there's just people doing things. Now these are my tomato plants I've been growing out since about 2012, 2015, something like that. And they're a porter. And I'll be planting some of those in my garden. And there's an elderberry. There's another little mini tomato I picked up for my friend at the fling. This, I'm not sure what it is, but isn't it cute? Very cute. And then we've got raspberries, zinnia, tomatoes, oregano. What is that? Petunia. I didn't even know I got that. Oh, well, that's just great. This is, sweet potato vine, decorative type. And this is, looks like cilantro maybe. So yeah. Oh, this is eggplant. Eggplant. I have to find a place for those. When I go to market with some produce this summer, I want to have what I call a grilling basket. And you just mix up a bunch of different things and put it in a basket. And set the price like $10 for the whole basket. And it's just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And it's nice. People get a nice variety that way. So there is the overview of the garden in progress. I'm going to spin around because you know what? I forgot to do this section. So these are our pecan trees that we picked up at my brother's. My nephew's, I'm sorry. I got these at my nephew's. And last year I dug up like 20 or 30 of these little darlings, and 6 of them are doing great. They survived the drought, they survived the heat, they survived transplant, they survived the winter. I'm really excited. And I've got a nice yarrow there, and this is a ground cherry, and this is a mint. I thought that was a stinging nettle. And then we have a bunch of lemon basil and leeks that were very tiny when I got them, so they're really doing good. And then I've got all these basil mix. I don't even know what kind those are. But we'll find out when they get a little bigger. I'll pinch them and smell them and see what they are. And then I've got these little zinnias, and then that's it. I don't know what this is either. I planted it, so I have to look at my list. This is one of the things we winter sowed, but is definitely not calendula, which is what it's labeled. And I hope it's not a weed, because I really hate babying weeds and then find out that they're not really going to feed me. So, but yeah, there it is. I think it looks bigger on camera than what it is, because the inside the fence is 12 by 22. But you can tell I'm busting out of my fence. I just couldn't. I am going to put a fence around this because Sophie likes to dig, and I don't want her digging this bed up before everything has a chance to sprout. So we'll just cover it, and she won't be able to get in there. Yeah, I've got a lot of work to do. Anyway, before summer's over, this place is going to be busting at the seams with okra, herbs, and tomatoes for sure. And as the greens come out, because they don't last during the summer, so as the greens come out, I will be planting more herbs and more summer food. So anyway, I'm really excited about this year's garden, and I'm thankful that you're here to go along on this journey with me. We'll see you in the next video.